What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, Dec-B has officially sold out. There is none left, and I gotta say that obviously it wasn't just Dec-B. We did have Land Phase 1 going live, and the tease of Land Phase 1.5, but I would say that it was a significant success in many regards. I know many people were against it initially, but to kind of give my perspective on why I think it is that way is because I think we burned a ton, right? So let me actually go over here. We burned a ton of DEC just through DECB alone. Now you can see here the null wallet has almost 1 billion DEC in it. Now that's not to say that we wouldn't have burned the 1 billion anyway. In fact, it would have been closer to like 1.25 billion had we just done DEC, but the vouchers were burned as well. And we're looking, I think it's a little bit over 4 million vouchers that were burned for the DECB tokens. So you can see here that 4.9 million were sent to, what is that, 8? Oh yeah, no, 4.9 million were sent to the validator bridge. Not all of that made it necessarily into DECB. Some of that is obviously still sitting in the game. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that we did cruise through a lot of tokens. It did take almost the 2 months since it went live for it to actually be felt. But a big part of that was obviously land coming through. So ultimately, when it comes down to this, I think that it was a great opportunity for people to spend because they are still spending early, right? They could have used regular DEC, but many people started buying DECB early in order to take advantage of the upcoming starter packages. At the time, we thought it was land potions, but the starter packages ended up being a much better deal and something that the community really liked. So as we look forward to this, and I'm going to go through, I did a video on this last night, kind of seeing where we are at from a DEC standpoint. We're at 5.3 billion DEC, and we're gonna start getting major use cases for DEC in the future. Obviously, with the staking that will be required for land to be utilized with the monsters, right? I will say this: I think DECB was great. And I would actually love for it to be just a one-time thing. I don't think that we're going to need it moving forward. And I don't think that I would vote for it again because I don't see like a full need for it. For example, you cannot use DECB when staking your monsters on your plots, right? Because that would be burning, whereas you're not actually burning the DEC. You're just using it there as kind of like a holding place. And so ultimately with DEC being at, 900 Splintoshis, I don't know if we'll stay there long term. Obviously, it's going to fluctuate up and down, but the fact that it did get us to 900 Splintoshis, I think, is quite significant. We'll still need to burn through a good chunk of this, but I would rather start burning through this chunk of it than focus on getting DECB because we don't know what the sinks are going to look like for the upcoming guild buildings. I think energy, a lot of people are using it for energy, which is actually awesome. And I don't know if it could potentially be used for like the market listing fees in the future, but I think I'm good with DECB just being this one-time thing that got a lot of people to pre-buy for land. Again, I'm not saying that I would be fully opposed to it if the need arises. So for example, if when we get more information like the Land Phase 2 white paper, if we get more information on all the sinks that will be there for DEC, or if there's going to be like a major expansion to guilds in the future beyond, right, just the buildings, or maybe the buildings will be a part of that, of what they're trying to do, then maybe DECB can be something that's used to once again maybe burn some vouchers. But I personally think that we're going to get some great voucher sinks, hopefully with guilds. We do have a regular stream of promo cards. There should be one later this month. And so I just feel like the tokenomics are in a much better place after DECB. Now, had we not had DECB, I want to look at the other flip side of the argument. Had we not had DECB, I don't think we would have set this arbitrary floor price for vouchers during that time frame, which many people probably benefited from. And I don't know where the voucher price goes from here, but we're not pegged to anything anymore, right? So, and we're still continuing to print more every day. So the argument could be made that if we'd never had DECB, then DEC itself might actually be at peg, although vouchers would be struggling as a token. So There's going to be some give and take there. I'm not saying that one way was better than the other. I'm just saying that the way that the community chose to go by voting for and implementing DECB definitely had benefits for both of these tokens, right? Maybe it muted some for DEC, but it definitely helped with vouchers. And now that vouchers are in a better position, I'll do a separate video breaking down where we're at in terms of the total number of vouchers in circulation and what we can expect between now and potentially the end of the quarter, when hopefully a lot of the guild stuff will go live and we get another promo card. Well, actually, I don't even know if vouchers are going to be used with a promo card, so we'll see if that ends up being a thing. But either way, vouchers are still required for Rift Watchers and Tower Defense, and that should be going live hopefully by the end of May or early June at the latest. So, looking at this from a kind of bird's eye view and just understanding that, this is a very dynamic, complex ecosystem, I'm actually still very happy with how DECB came out, and I don't see a need for it. But I want to throw it over to you guys, get your thoughts. What did you think of DECB, or at least this implementation of it? And would you be open to or wanting another set of this? Obviously, the team already has the infrastructure somewhat built out, so I don't think that it would require too much more in terms of coding. It would be more so just a matter of if we want it, and then the team, setting aside some minor resources in order to do it. But like I said, I'm of the opinion now that the tokenomics are in a much better place. We don't need it. Although, again, I'm not opposed to it if the need should arise for future things. But the future is almost here, right? So we voted on DECB in January. It went live in early February, and that was to pull up some of the demand, which it did, right? It pull up some of the demand from Q2, Q3, and Q4 up into Q1. And now we're here in Q2. I mean, we've just officially started Q2. It's the beginning of April, and we know that land phase 1.5 has been mapped out. We have the white paper, and there's some really cool stuff coming with it. We know that there's things happening with guilds. So again, I'm just rambling on here. Let me get your thoughts. What did you think of DECB and how it was implemented, if it was impactful? And then 2, do you think we need more? Would you vote for more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll continue the conversation there, but that is all I have for you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Catch y'all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.